Hello, I'm Theolyn Cortens. This is class 2 in my 4-part video series, How to Bring Real Magic into Your Life. Across these 4 classes, I want to show you why you should think about your meditation in a new way. How meditation is not just about stress busting, meditation is about creative power. Your creative power, your ability to step into the driving seat of your life and make things happen in the way that you desire. So if you haven't watched video 1, please go and do that now, because there's an exercise in that which will be really useful for you to have in your toolkit. In this class, there's going to be another exercise, but that will be a guided journey. So again, you will need pen and paper or a journal close to hand for writing down your experiences after the journey. You remember how I was talking about fairy stories, how I explained that they can reveal some deep truths. They can tell us how magic can really work in our lives. And I shared this cartoon with you because it illustrates how there can be a difference between using meditation simply to help establish peaceful, calm serenity and meditation that supports you creating a new lifestyle, a new world. Instead of patiently dealing with your frustrations, you can find a magic key and discover your own power. Also in the last video, I promised you I would share an ancient concept with you which describes how something arises in the manifested world when originally it was completely invisible, how something comes out of nothing. And this is a really useful concept because it can help you understand how sometimes your affirmations, your attempts to manifest something actually suffer and get blocked because there's no smooth flow going on. Ancient mystics developed a map called the 4 worlds, which describes how creative endeavours unfold in simple stages. And the 4 worlds are associated with the traditional concept of elements. We can describe someone who can do magic as being skilled in this 4-fold process. They can desire something and see the manifest result in the world quickly, sometimes immediately. Think about it like this. We start from the outside edge. In the 4th world, you are busy doing your everyday things, being practical, doing your chores, you're going to work, dealing with your family. All these activities take place in the 4th world. If you get stuck in world 4, the manifest world, you may think the way to get what you want is by setting goals and planning a timetable. In the background, your feelings, your emotions, your intuitions, these all go on in your 3rd world. And quite often you are unaware of them, unless something in particular happens, something that might upset you, or something that might make you especially happy. People who follow The Secret or the law of attraction have realized how important world 3 is. This is the world of feelings. They learn how to visualize their dreams, but still, sometimes they may not get what they think they want. Also in the background, your thoughts are constantly active. Your monkey mind, perhaps several monkeys. Now, thoughts can be useful, or they can be distorted. They can be based on misunderstanding or misinterpretation. The choices that set the pattern for how things will manifest need to be decided in World 2, the world of choices. But they are reliant on the energy from World 1, where your soul's passion provides the real juice, the fuel for the whole system. So underpinning everything, underpinning all these activities, is the first world. We can describe this as the field of universal energy that's driving all the activities in 2, 3, and 4. But how often do you go there? This is energy at its most simple and most powerful. Experiencing this world on a regular basis will take you out of the field of thoughts and emotions, and you will be refreshed. And then you can reevaluate what is going on in worlds 2, 3, and 4. What you need is an effective meditation technique that reliably and regularly takes you to World 1, where you can redesign your life from the inside out. World 1 is where your genie lives, your genius, your daimon. When you meditate, you can get back to World 1. You can take time to understand your own potential and focus your intentions. The center point of this process is the source of all the power. The energy from the center should find no barriers in worlds 2, 3, and 4. Your soul has its own genius, its own genie, who will work the magic you need in your life as long as thoughts, world 2, and feelings, world 3, allow the flow of energy to move easily in your life. This flow is called ki in Oriental medicine. In Hebrew, it's called shefa. Famous books like The Secret and The Law of Attraction taught people how to focus on their desires and use creative visualization to manifest what they wanted. Some people got excellent results, but not always. Some people never got any positive results. Why would that be? I suggest because the desire in question had no fire to fuel it. There is insufficient energy to surmount barriers like self-criticism or doubt or fear, anxiety or shyness. This fire comes from your soul. In order to clear the way for this power to maintain its presence in your life every day, you need to go back to it every day, regularly. Possibly the most significant fairy story for our investigation of how true magic is so often inhibited is the story of the Sleeping Beauty, sometimes called Briar Rose. When the wicked fairy condemns the whole palace to sleep for 100 years, the Princess Aurora lies in deep coma. She's surrounded by the sleeping servants. She's surrounded by her parents and all the aristocrats. Cobwebs lace through nooks and crannies. Brambles grow around the palace walls, designed to prevent visitors entering the palace gardens. In the ballet version of Sleeping Beauty, the Lilac Fairy arrives. She's come on a mission to help the prince in his struggle with the Hedge of Thorns. She represents the genie, or the guardian angel, who can help the process of waking your true self. Your deep soul does not sleep, but your incarnated potential, designed to be free, designed to be the master of your own life, that can certainly get shrouded in cobwebs until you summon magic help and deliver the kiss of life. In every human destiny, a shadow hovers like the wicked fairy. This shadow threatens beauty. The shadow's name is Death. The shadow thinks it's invincible. But love is stronger than death and overcomes the poisonous prick. The princess will live, she will marry, she will be happy, and life will overcome. Think of the brambles as negative thoughts and emotional stories that create a tangled hedge, preventing your sovereign self from claiming the kingdom. How can you initiate a process that allows freedom from entanglement? Let's revisit the 4 worlds. Think of your sovereign self as centered in the first world. The pathway to world 4 could be easy and uncluttered, or a hedge of brambles might have grown up in worlds 2 and 3. When you learn how to carve your way through the tangle of thoughts and feelings that are a natural and habitual pattern in your mind day by day, then you get to enter the inner sanctum and meet your sovereign self, your soul. How do you do that? By regular meditation, of course, using a sound-based technique that helps to clear the paths, giving fast, easy access to the center of your consciousness. Your sovereign self, or your soul, has a driving desire, a passion, a fundamental need to find a way into the world that feels joyful and satisfying. It definitely wants to be in charge, but often feels thwarted. However, this desire has its source in the world of fire, and that enormous energy is constantly on tap. You just have to keep refueling in your twice daily meditations. So now is the time to go on an inner journey. I'm going to guide you through a journey, and it's designed to help you clear some of those brambles. Don't forget to keep a notebook handy and a pen, and have a glass of water nearby. So when you've completed the journey with my voiceover, you will be ready to record your experiences and see what magic is going on for you. Find yourself sitting on a sofa, looking out through French windows into a beautiful garden. But something feels unsettled, as though you have forgotten something. In your mind's eye, get up from your sofa, turn away from the garden to find a door at the back of the room. When you open the door, you see a short staircase. It's not very inviting. It's a bit grubby, with a few cobwebs hanging around. You are not frightened. It's not seriously sinister, but you're definitely not very happy. Somehow you know this part of the house needs a bit of TLC, and you are responsible. So you bravely go down the steps until you find another door at the bottom. This time a very rusty door. With a bit of a push and a shove, you manage to open the door, and you find yourself in a rambling old kitchen garden where broken plant pots and rusty broken garden tools are lying around. You can see a brick pathway ahead of you, but it is covered with stinging nettles and brambles. This doesn't look pretty at all, but you know you have to keep going. You can see a building ahead of you looking like a palace from a fairy tale. If only you can get there, you feel sure you can meet a magical helper. Suddenly, you feel a presence close by. You can't see anyone, but a feeling of certainty unfolds you. There is help, right here and now. Something deep inside is saying, "Let's get started. It won't be as hard as it looks." You put a firm foot on the path and take a good look at the first bramble that is in your way. Imagine the bramble has a cross face, perhaps like a gargoyle you might see on a church. It could even be a face that you recognize. Take a moment for a conversation with this bramble. Ask why it is blocking your way. Perhaps you can see more than one bramble. Ask what they represent. Often the brambles are fears. So this is an opportunity to uncover what fears might be getting in your way. When you've got an idea what this tangle of brambles might mean, it is time to use a magical eradication technique. In your mind's eye, look at your right hand and see it shining with light. Stretch out your hand and seize the bramble firmly. Lift it out of the ground and bring its mean little face close up to your own and say, "I am a divine being and you have no power over me." Watch as the light from your hand fills the bramble with light, transforming it into a beautiful rose. As you look ahead, you see the pathway is clear for you to walk along. As you walk with the rose in your hand, other flowers, jasmine, lilies, lilacs, they all spring up beside you, filling the air with beautiful perfume. You can see a beautiful woman waving to you from the building ahead. She is wearing a crown and she is beckoning to you to hurry along so she can share her wealth and wisdom with you. Now turn around and go back along the garden path where you can find the doors into your sitting room. Find your way back to the sofa where you sit down once more and gaze out of the window with a deep sense of satisfaction. Now you know that at any time, whenever you wish, you can create a clear path from your everyday world, cut through any negative stories, and find your way to the fairy tale palace, where you can meet your sovereign self, your soul. So now I'm going to give you a minute so you can write down your experience in your journal. As well as using the journal to record your experiences after a guided journey, I hope you're the kind of person who keeps a journal close to your bed for recording your dreams. Because after that guided journey, you may well find over the next couple of nights that you have some very interesting dreams. One of my favourite stories about overcoming obstacles is a real story, that of the ballet dancer Rudolf Nureyev. He wanted to be a dancer from the age of 5, after he'd been taken to see the ballet by his mother. They were very poor. She only had 1 ticket, but she managed to get herself and her 5 children into the theatre. Now, Rudy's father was a soldier. He was furious about the idea of his only son becoming a ballet dancer. Peasant boys didn't go to ballet school. So this extreme poverty was a huge obstacle. They were so poor the children all slept in one bed. So he didn't get to a proper ballet school until he was 17, although he did do some local classes. That meant that he was always behind the other dancers with his technique. And then, of course, he had to deal with a mighty big troll, the Soviet government, the Communist Party, and they kept on his tail even after he managed to escape to the West. But he had what we call attitude. It's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. Something that you could do alongside these classes is look out for some biographies of people who you really respect or admire, who fascinate you, people who have overcome obstacles in their lives and are known to the public because they have demonstrated how they listen to their inner genius. It's not that they're any more brilliant or cleverer than you are, but as we just said, it's not how good you are, it's how good you want to be. So in the next class, we're going to be talking about an essential magical ingredient, sound. And also in the next class, there will be another guided journey. See you then.